Hey, everybody. Welcome to the very first Conspiracy Theories and Chill live stream. I thought we should do one of these to introduce the new channel. It's a brand new channel, fresh to YouTube, made by me for you. And my partner, Paul, he is half the show, half of Conspiracy Theories and Chill. He can't be here right now. Maybe he'll join us later. I don't know. I can't predict the future. I'm not of that ability, or I don't have that ability rather. But maybe he will. If not, it's okay. We're just gonna do a feed so that I can show you around. I can show you the new digs. I can show you the new YouTube channel, and I can let you know what kind of content you're in for around here, like what you can expect to see from our little channel here, Conspiracy Theories and Chill. By the way, subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to our channel. It's very important to do that, and hit that like button and share this out. Get this out everywhere. We're going to be hanging out a good long while. I'm going to show you a few examples of what our channel is all about and what you can expect to see here at Conspiracy Theories and Chill. But we already got like 11 videos up on the channel. I'm going to be putting them up real regular. We're going to be doing clips of the show, the live show. We may start streaming live to the YouTube channel. I'm not sure though. Right now, we're just on Facebook, Rumble, and Twitter. I'm scared to stream the show here until me and Paul learn to watch our mouth a little better. There's certain things you can't do over here on YouTube. You have to follow a different set of rules. And I'm afraid that goes for everybody. So in the comment section, you also have to play by a different set of rules. You got to be good, and we got to watch our P's and Q's if we want to keep this channel. So that means there's certain topics we can't discuss and certain things we can't do. So you'll still have to go to Rumble for the real truth videos and the deeper dive stuff and the uncensored content. But all the edited stuff and the safe to stream to YouTube stuff will be right here on the YouTube channel. This will give us a chance to get out to a wider audience. Rumble, I think, will get to this level at some point, the level of YouTube, but it's not there yet, and I know that. I can admit that. I don't like admitting it. Rumble will get there. They're already getting better. Tonight's show, the Sean Yankee show on Rumble, was fantastic, but we got pulled on Facebook. So everybody from Facebook came flooding over to Rumble, and the comment section lit up. It was great. But this is the first live stream for the Conspiracy Theories and Chill YouTube channel. And like I said, Paul can't be here. I'm Sean. And this channel is only for conspiracy theories. That's all that will be over here. And like I said, we can't do everything we want, but anything we can do, we will do here. Now, I am going to try my best to be careful, but I haven't exactly edited all my content to be YouTube friendly. I think I picked some stuff that we can watch, hang out and watch, that's okay for YouTube. And we're going to find out. I may end up getting our first strike on our very first live stream. I hope not. But we're going to hang out for a little bit and watch a little bit of what you can expect to see on this channel. But I just figured we'd chit chat and talk and all and that and all. While I figure out how to talk, I think what we're going to do real quick is watch a clip. This is a clip from Conspiracy Theories and Chill before Paul started joining us. So this is an older clip, and it has to do with the shape of the Earth. So check this out, and I'll be right back with you on the first ever Conspiracy Theories and Chill live stream. CJ was saying how it ties to flat Earth. I was talking about being side shamed today, like kind of like a jab. Somebody said something silly about flat earthers. Who happens to know I believe we live in a created environment. So that opens the door to flat Earth for sure. And what I know for sure is I don't know everything, and I'm being lied to on a massive scale. But I believe this Earth was created by God, which points to a flat, enclosed Earth. And you're shamed to shit for having that opinion. But you know what? I feel like the people shaming you don't know anything either. And that's the one thing I'm sure of, is that I am being lied to in such a way that I could never possibly fully understand anything. And I can't even comprehend reality fully. I only have my five senses to perceive it with. There's so much going on I can't even see all around me. We covered Hollow Earth. I did a video on Hollow Earth. But we can cover absolutely any topic, and we looked into Hollow Earth. You know, Adolf Hitler actually believed the Earth was hollow and that we are in the inside. Yeah, well, you know what? I would love to, but it would be a long one. I would have to do that one in pieces too. Flat Earth is a very fascinating topic, and one you are ashamed to shit for even looking at. And I, like many others, when I first looked at it, went into it out of curiosity. I'm pretty open-minded, and I'm not afraid to look at different topics. But, you know, I didn't go into it convinced of it, but they'd make a lot of good points. So this factors in the uncharted lands. Admiral Byrd led the largest expedition ever to Antarctica, Operation High Jump. It was a huge expedition, and he explored the area and came back and told some interesting stories. And one of them was that an area larger than the Americas was unexplored in Antarctica, and he described it being lush with lakes and, you know, green areas and resources, and it's very interesting. Wiggy said there's loads of evidence pointing to flat Earth, and it can't be ignored. But that's exactly what they do with it, and the way they do it is to convince people that if they even entertain it, if you even allow that idea to come into your mind, you have been tainted by these crazy conspiracy theorists. You're insane now. Even the thought entering your head. Oh, the official story of what our existence is makes zero sense. Spinning around at amazing speeds, flying through the galaxy, chasing the sun at even more amazing speeds, expanding in a universe that's ever expanding. It's insane. The mathematical probabilities of any one detail of it fall apart under any scrutiny, and they're massive figures. Just the chance of each little coincidence lining up. And they claim millions of these coincidences lined up. They love coincidences. Anything they can't explain, they just throw coincidence right on it and move on. They don't give a shit if it makes sense. The lie does not even have to be plausible. They just have to shame people into believing it, and then groupthink takes over, and that's it. There is demonic figures all throughout the stats they give you, like, because it's chasing the sun. I think it's something like 66,600 miles per hour. There's 666 in there too, and then some of the things divide into 666. They're very into numbers and numerology, and they can make their math figures work out however they want. And that's what they've done. Even Tesla said it. They don't do science anymore. They're just really good at math. And when you're really good at math, you can work out an equation however you want. They can't. And most of the theories that they base everything on to explain it with their bullshit answers are theories that don't hold up to any other science. They're bullshit. They're made up. Like evolution, made up. There's nothing to back it up. No real science. Danon goes with simulation, which also fits into what I believe. I believe we are in a created world, which would be a simulation. So we agree, actually. We just think of it differently, and we're calling it something different. Do they talk about what the moons of Saturn are like, you know, the oceans of Jupiter? Crazy shit. You should watch Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson. They talk out of their ass and make anything up. I saw him talking about what like the winds were like on Venus as if they'd been there. They'll make up anything. No fucking way. Look, for one, have you ever seen water curve? Just real quick, think about that. When have you seen that? Water always finds its level. So how do you have water on a ball? It doesn't make any sense. Ron said he heard the moon is fading away from the earth. Where'd you see that? Or do you mean moving further away? It doesn't move, man. It's a light in the sky. Aaron thought it's getting closer. I don't think it moves. I mean, it moves, but it ain't getting closer or further away. You know what I mean? It's fixed. Dude, it's everywhere, Wiggy. It's everywhere, all around us. These people that lord over us, these bloodlines that have ruled humanity for centuries, they're Luciferian. That is their common denominator. And these symbols are everywhere. These signs are everywhere. CJ says the 9/11 box cutters. Earth is spinning thousands of miles an hour. Dude, the official numbers, I'm telling you, they have satanic figures all throughout them. I've seen it shown to me. I don't have them in front of me right now, but it's obvious. It's all made up bullshit, and they just run with it. And then they use that groupthink mentality to shame everybody who just thinks for themselves. I watched a really funny video from Awaken with JP today, who does great work right now and gets away with it under the guise of satire. It's amazing. But it was about Facebook being down and how these two people are having a conversation. One of them is a brainwashed cattle, and the other is a regular person that tries to talk about real things on Facebook, is censored all the time, having a conversation about Facebook being down. And it was amazing. So much great insight in that video. But these people, they don't think for themselves. They let others think for them and then just go with it. They're like, okay, this is what we believe, and we shame everybody who doesn't. And now it's so dangerously violent, their reactions to their marching orders. It's frightening me, especially when you factor in where they're wanting to go with it. Like that friend of mine I was talking about, he's lost his mind. He thinks there's 80,000 bad nurses that needed to be fired. Gerard says, if you travel west, then you will not fall off. You keep going. I don't know anything specifically. That's how I fall on this topic. But we'll get into that stuff in the video when we cover it and talk about different theories on that. I don't know. I believe it's a created world. I know the Bible describes it as flat and stationary and protected by a firmament that separates the heavens from the earth. So I believe that's probably close to the truth of it. I know every ancient civilization believes something similar to that, but they all knew that we were fixed and motionless, and that the sky moved around us. The stars and the sun and the moon and all that moved around us. In fact, it's been used as a clock and a calendar since the beginning of timekeeping. It is a huge clock. Patricia says, or we get a bullshit version of them all projected above us like a giant planetarium, where the real ones are still outside with all kinds of alien traffic and stuff. And that, I guess, would fold into the hollow earth theory, or maybe that we're being played with entirely. That's an interesting theory too. Right, it is. It's very hard to say, Tracy. We're being lied to on such a scale that I don't think anybody could possibly figure it out or be 100% right, even. That's where I land. But I feel it's created, and I know it's not a round ball spinning through space. That is a lie. Theories are great, Sean. You know what? It's fun to think. Thinking is fun. And you can explore different ideas, and it's okay. You don't have to marry yourself to one. And it's a great way to grow. And the truth usually lays in the gray areas anyway. It's somewhere in the middle most of the time. Right. It's about perspective. It makes perfect sense when you think about it. You've been lied to about everything, though. So you've got to undo all the bullshit in your head before you can even see these things. But you when you do, you realize, I should have seen this all along. Just like if I time lapse the sky in my own backyard, I'm going to get circles from the stars. They're going to make circles because they move in a fucking circle above us. That's why that happens. There is a secret space program, but outer space, what they call outer space, is bullshit. The cartoon they sell you, that's bullshit. We wouldn't understand what space is, and the Israeli space minister said exactly that. He said UFOs are here living among us, aliens rather, not UFOs. Aliens are here living among us, but they don't want us to know about them because we wouldn't even be able to understand what outer space is, and that's true. Because I think it's more of like gates and portals and dimensions and things like this when they're talking about space travel. That's what they mean. And NASA is not a real space agency. There is a secret space program. NASA's bullshit, propaganda and money laundering. They sell cartoons to the people to sell and keep a lie going. And they're not even good cartoons anymore. They don't give a shit about the quality of them because the lie itself doesn't matter, just that the people believe it. They almost seem to be playing with the sloppiness of shit now. They don't give a fuck. Like Biden is doing his press stuff on a set. Just a set. They've just given a big fuck you to anyone questioning anything, and they're just running with their nonsense, all of it at once. It's crazy what they're doing right now. I better stop me because I got a dirty mouth. I was looking for a place to stop it because I heard the first one. There may have been more. One caught my attention and I got in here. I was like, I got to find a place to stop this. And then like 4 dropped and then I flipped the camera. I just did it again. I am going to have a lot of trouble. I struggle over here. Paul, I'm going to try really hard, man. But we're not off to a good start. Our very first live stream on YouTube, and I'm already breaking rules. I've got to watch my mouth, and I've got to edit things before I put them up here on YouTube channel. But this is our first, so if you're a moderator and you're watching, I'm sorry, and I will learn the rules and I will follow them. You know, I'll be good. I will. I can learn to be good. But this is just a live stream to promote the channel. It's a brand new channel. Do you like it? Look around. I encourage you to look around. I'm going to show you around. We're going to check out the channel. But guess what? Paul's going to come join us. Later on, Paul will be here. He's going to join us after work. He's at stupid work. I'm on vacation this week, so I get to devote all this time to setting up the channel and getting everything going and, you know, birthing our baby here, the Conspiracy Theories and Chill channel. But we're having our first live stream, and I just want to welcome everybody in. We're going to watch some little videos, some examples of what you'll see on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I'm trying to find the clip, what we're going to play next. I want to play some Bill Cooper, but a short one. This is Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars by Bill Cooper. I'm going to play that here in a second, but that's what we're doing. We're just hanging out, having a live stream, the first ever live stream on this channel, so you can see what kind of content you'll be getting from us. I'll probably upload some more Bill Cooper stuff over here on the channel. I'm not sure what, but it'll be something like this, something edited and that I've worked on and fixed up so it's nice and pretty. But let's watch this as we wait for Paul to join us and get into a conversation on the first ever live stream from Conspiracy Theories and Chill, the brand new YouTube channel that you need to go ahead and subscribe to. Let's check this out.
Technology has evolved from Operations Research, ROR, a strategy and tactical methodology developed under the military management in England during World War II. and this will be the first that most of you have ever heard of it. The original purpose of operations research was to study the strategic and tactical problems of air and land defense with the objective of effective use of limited military resources against foreign enemies. In other words, folks, logistics. For after they developed this operations research and found out that it could be extremely useful, it was soon recognized by those in positions of power that the same methods might be useful for totally controlling a society. But better tools at that time were necessary. Social engineering, folks, the analysis and automation of a society, requires the correlation of great amounts of constantly changing economic information or data. So a high-speed, computerized data processing system was necessary, which could race ahead of the society and predict when society would arrive for capitulation. Relay computers were too slow, but the electronic computer, invented in 1946 by J. Presper Eckert and John W. Mauchly, filled the bill. The next breakthrough was the development of the simplex method of linear programming in 1947 by the mathematician George B. Dantzig. Then, in 1948, the transistor, invented by J. Bardeen, W. H. Brattain, and W. Shockley, promised great expansion of the computer field by reducing space and power requirements. With these three inventions under their direction, those in positions of power strongly suspected that it was possible for them to control the whole world with the push of a button. Immediately, the Rockefeller Foundation got in on the ground floor by making a 4-year grant to Harvard College, funding the Harvard Economic Research Project for the study of the structure of the American economy. 1 year later, folks, in 1949, the United States Air Force joined in. In 1952, the original grant period terminated, and a high-level meeting of the elite was held to determine the next phase of social operations research. The Harvard Project had been very fruitful, as is borne out by the publication of some of its results in 1953, suggesting the feasibility of economic or social engineering. Engineered in the last half of the decade of the 1940s, the new quiet war machine stood, so to speak, in sparkling gold-plated hardware on the showroom floor by 1954. With the creation of the maser in 1954, the promise of unlocking unlimited sources of fusion atomic energy from the heavy hydrogen in seawater, and the consequent availability of unlimited social power, was a possibility only decades away. The combination, of course, was irresistible. The Quiet War was quietly declared by the international elite at a meeting held in 1954, and the name of that group, folks, is the Bilderberg Group. Although the silent weapons system was nearly exposed 13 years later, the evolution of the new weapons system has never, ever suffered any major setbacks, because no one has ever identified that what is happening to them is being caused by any kind of a weapons system at all. Nope, it's all an accident, folks, and if you believe that, I got a couple of bridges that I'd like to get rid of please contact me with checkbook in hand. In 1954, it was well recognized by those in positions of authority that it was only a matter of time. Only a few decades, folks, before the general public would be able to grasp and upset the cradle of power, for the very elements of the new silent weapon technology were as accessible for a public utopia as they were for providing a private utopia. The issue of primary concern, that of dominance, revolved around the subject of the energy sciences. You see, folks, energy is recognized as the key to all activity on Earth. Natural science is the study of the sources and control of natural energy. And social science, theoretically expressed as economics, is the study of the control of social energy or society as a whole. Both, of course, are bookkeeping systems, mathematics. Therefore, mathematics is the primary energy science, and the bookkeeper can be king if the public can be kept ignorant of the methodology of the bookkeeping. You see, folks, all science is merely a means to an end. The means is knowledge. The end is control. And most of you don't understand it and never have understood it, and many of you never will understand that. And those in power believe that the end always justifies the means. And beyond this remains only one issue, folks. Who will be the beneficiary? In 1954, this was the issue of primary concern. Although the so-called moral issues were raised, in view of the law of natural selection, it was agreed that a nation or world of people who will not use their intelligence are no better than animals who do not have intelligence. Such people are beasts of burden and stakes on the table by choice and consent, always have been and always will be. Consequently, in the interest of future world order, peace, and tranquility, it was decided to privately wage a quiet war against the American public with an ultimate objective of permanently shifting the natural and social energy, or wealth, of the undisciplined and irresponsible many into the hands of the self-disciplined, responsible, and worthy few. In order to implement this objective, it was necessary to create, secure, and apply new weapons, which, as it turned out, were a class of weapons so subtle and sophisticated in their principle of operation and public appearance as to earn for themselves the name silent weapons. And it was quickly realized that if it was done properly, the public themselves would load the weapons and fire them for the end result of their own destruction. In conclusion, the objective of economic research as conducted by the magnates of capital, or banking, and the industries of commodities, or goods and services, is the establishment of an economy which is totally predictable and manipulatable. Folks, in order to achieve a totally predictable economy, the low-class elements of the society must be brought under total control. In effect, must be housebroken, trained, and assigned a yoke and long-term social duties from a very early age, before they have an opportunity to question the propriety of the matter. In order to achieve such conformity, the lower class family unit must be disintegrated by a process of increasing preoccupation of the parents and the establishment of government-operated daycare centers for the occupationally orphaned children. The quality of education given to the lower class must be of the poorest sort, so that the moat of ignorance isolating the inferior class from the superior class is and remains incomprehensible to the inferior class. With such an initial handicap, Even bright lower-class individuals have little, if any, hope of extricating themselves from their assigned lot in life. This form of slavery, and slavery it is, to be sure, is essential to maintaining some measure of social order, peace, and tranquility for the ruling upper class. Everything that is expected from an ordinary weapon is expected from a silent weapon by its creators, but only in its own manner of junctioning. It shoots situations instead of bullets, propelled by data processing instead of a chemical reaction or explosion originating from bits of data instead of grains of gunpowder, and from a computer instead of a gun, operated by a computer programmer instead of a marksman, under the orders of a banking magnate instead of a military general. It makes no obvious explosive noises, causes no obvious physical or mental injuries, and does not obviously interfere with anyone's daily social life. Yet it makes an unmistakable noise, causes unmistakable physical and mental damage, and unmistakably interferes with daily social life. In effect, unmistakable to a trained observer, one who knows what to look for. The public cannot comprehend this weapon, and therefore cannot believe that they are being attacked and subdued by a weapon. The public might instinctively feel that something is wrong, but because of the technical nature of the silent weapon, they cannot express their feeling in a rational way or handle the problem with intelligence. Therefore, they do not know how to cry for help, and do not know how to associate with others to defend themselves against it. Dear listeners, when a silent weapon is applied gradually, the public adjusts, adapts to its presence, and learns to tolerate its encroachment on their lives until the pressure, psychological via economic, becomes too great and they just simply crack up. Therefore, the silent weapon is a type of biological warfare. It attacks the vitality, options, and mobility of the individuals of a society by knowing, understanding, manipulating, and attacking their sources of natural and social energy and their physical, mental, and emotional strengths and weaknesses. A nation or world of people who do not use their intelligence are no better than animals who do not have intelligence. Such people are beasts of burden and stakes on the table by choice and consent. Do you fit that category, folks? I certainly hope not, because I believe we can get ourselves out of this situation if we will just open our eyes, our ears, and wake up. Stop believing what you're told and what you read and begin to find the truth for yourself.
You gotta find the truth for yourself. That's what this channel is about. That's why I thought that would be a good video to help introduce this channel to you guys. Because this channel, this YouTube channel, is all about the truth and trying to find and seeking the truth. I'm not saying we're always going to nail it, but that is our ultimate goal. Because we still have our core belief that if it can be destroyed by the truth, it should be. That's what we believe, and that's what we stand for. So if you feel that way too, you're going to love this channel, you know. But Joan's all by herself at the live. But you know what? There's 2 people here right now, and there's only 20 subscribers. We're a baby. This is our first live stream. So it's doing awesome. And pretty soon, Paul will be here to join us. He's going to come over. He just got off work. We just got to give him time, probably an hour or so. He's real slow. He don't really move fast. He's getting up there in age, you know. You've seen all the gray in his beard. I heard that's gone now. I heard he got rid of the beard. But I got some more videos. I got some more stuff. And I thought we'd hang out for a little while. But this is the very first live stream for the Conspiracy Theories and Chill YouTube channel. This is our inaugural journey. It's our very first midnight ride, basically. I'm the night lizard. I'm on a midnight ride. So come with me. We're going to watch some more of our videos, some more Conspiracy Theories and Chill. And I'm going to show you around the new YouTube channel. If you're here on Facebook, which is up right now, but don't go there. Don't go there because I'm not going to leave it up. I'm going to take it down. I'm just trying to pull people over to YouTube, trying to get some people to come over and hang out with Joan. So come to the YouTube channel and I will get you that link and put it in the comments so that Facebook has it and they can come to this very same show on YouTube going on right now. They won't miss a thing and they can subscribe. They can hook up with our new channel, you know. Then they can follow it. And all new conspiracy theory videos, all clips of the show, all that stuff will now go to that channel. The Conspiracy Theories and Chill YouTube channel. If you're here on YouTube, the best way to find it, or if you want to enter this in the search bar, I think this is the way to do it on YouTube. That'll get you there. If you go over to YouTube and you enter that in the search, take you right to our channel. Let me see here. Oh, cool. And that works. Well, everything's up and running. Everything's functioning. So that's cool. I'm kind of surprised that we were able to do live streaming this fast over on the YouTube channel. That's really weird because we're just a baby. We've been up for like a week. I got 11 videos over there though. And real quick, let me show you around. So if you're here on YouTube and you just randomly clicked on the video, you already seen our YouTube channel and you know about it, you know. But if you're here on Facebook, who's only going to be with us for just a little while, Facebook's only going to be with us for a moment, you want to see our YouTube channel. So let me take you and show you. That's it right there. See, same streams going on, same stuff. But this is our YouTube channel, Conspiracy Theories and Chill. And it's only going to be for Conspiracy Theories and Chill. That's the only thing that's going to be over here is Conspiracy Theories and Chill related stuff and Conspiracy Theories and Chill itself. So that's all you'll find on this channel. It's going to be a really great channel and it's going to be a lot of fun. So subscribe and you will love it. And I am promoting the hell out of it because I really want to see it do well. So, you know, hopefully it will. I really hope it will. I think it'll be cool. I just hope I don't get taken down. You know, and be real careful and try to follow the rules. But I've had a bunch of YouTube channels wiped, taken down. It's happened a few times. So I hope it doesn't happen again, but it might. You know, it's very possible. But I got some videos I want to watch with you. You know, I'll probably end up putting these on the YouTube channel too, but I haven't yet. So let's see. I don't know which one I want to start with, but we're just going to hang out. We're going to watch some videos and I'm going to do this stream until we get some subscribers. Let's say we'll set the cap at 3. When we get 3 new subscribers, when we get this thing to 23 subs, I'll wrap up this stream. But I am not calling it quits until we get 3 more subscribers. So we got 1 just now, 13 seconds ago. So welcome to Creative Cat. But We need 2 more before we'll even consider stopping. But this is just a stream to let you know what kind of videos that you're going to see here, what kind of content. But let's watch another video real quick. This is a Conspiracy Theories and Chill original video, and it has to do with Ruby Ridge. So let me get that in here and get it ready to start up for you. And we'll check this out, and I'll be right back with you after. Welcome back to Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. On this episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill, we are going to discuss the brutal 11-day standoff that happened at Ruby Ridge. Now, this story is not a conspiracy theory, but rather a hidden truth. What we're going to discuss tonight is all real and verifiable, and I encourage you to look it up for yourself. This horrible event that I'm about to describe to you took place in real life in the United States, not a movie, and it is proof that the government can and will infringe on our constitutional rights and use lethal force in doing so. Ruby Ridge is the story of an 11-day armed standoff between a family that was trying to live off the grid and the U.S. government's alphabet agencies, specifically the USMS, the FBI, and the ATF. Now, this story begins with Randy Weaver and his wife Vicki, who decided to move to the woods of northern Idaho to live and raise their family away from what they considered to be an evil and corrupt society. They wanted to live off of the land and homeschool their children. They wanted to be free to live their lives as they chose, so they started a new life and began to do just that. Randy and Vicki bought 20 acres of land at Ruby Ridge and built a cabin for themselves in the wilderness. They learned to live without electricity and provided food for themselves from hunting and farming their land. The Weavers believed that the apocalypse was imminent and that society was evil and going to fail. So they had unplugged from the broken system that they felt was dying off and were living the life that they had chosen for themselves, free and self-sustaining. Now, whether or not you agree with Randy and Vicki Weaver about the state of the world and the coming apocalypse, you should at least be able to agree that they had the right to live as they chose. This is a free country after all, right? That's what I was taught in school. We have freedoms, we have rights, we have protections, or do we? The Weavers were putting that to the test and were thriving for quite a while. That is until the government took an interest in them. Not long after the government's alphabet agencies took that interest in the Weavers, their life that they had built for themselves and their family ended abruptly. For 3 members of the Weaver family, Randy's wife, Vicki, 14-year-old son Samuel, and family dog Stryker, that end was quite literal, as they were all murdered by federal agents during the raid of their own property. This happened, and we will go into the details, but let's start with why. Why did these federal agencies target the Weavers? What justified them raiding the Weavers' property? Why did these agents have to use lethal force in the raid, especially in the case of the murder of Vicki Weaver, who was unarmed when killed and holding her infant child in the doorway of her own home? Well, it turns out that all of this started with a court dispute over a land deal and some wild accusations. Randy Weaver and a neighbor had a dispute over a $3,000 land deal, and the neighbor lost his suit against Randy. After not only being defeated in court, but having to pay thousands in damages to the Weavers, the neighbor decided to get revenge by reporting Randy to the U.S. government. The neighbor started a letter-writing campaign to the FBI, the Secret Service, and the local sheriff's office, alleging that Randy Weaver had threatened to kill the Pope, the President, and the Governor of Idaho. This allowed the FBI and other alphabet agencies to categorize Weaver as a person of interest, and they did just that. By the beginning of the next year, the FBI and Secret Service had begun an investigation into the Weavers. The Secret Service was told that Randy Weaver was a member of the Aryan Nation and had a large weapons stash at his property. And the Weavers were interviewed multiple times, but no charges were filed. The Weaver family made attempts to report that they were being harassed and slandered, but no one listened to their complaints, and the poking and prodding of this family by the alphabet agencies continued on. The ATF became interested in Randy through his connection with the Aryan Nation and an informant that they had inside the group. They allege that in October of 1989, Randy sold this informant 2 sawed-off shotguns. And this was used to go after Randy. And they did arrest him, but after being released on bail, Randy Weaver did not return for trial and a bench warrant was issued on the weapons charges. Now, there are many details in this story that I have left out for the sake of time, but this whole investigation into Randy Weaver was orchestrated and designed. The case against him reeks of entrapment, and they didn't even have a solid case. As far as Randy not appearing for his trial, there are conflicting reasons for that as well, and the biggest reason is that as a survivalist that lived off the land, had no electricity, and lived in the wilderness, Randy was a little hard to get a hold of. So we have a trumped-up case started by gossip and slander against Randy Weaver that somehow his wife is also dragged into, although she hasn't committed a crime. She is a person of extreme interest in the FBI and ATF's investigations, and is even considered by the FBI at least to be the ringleader of the Weaver clan. But still, how does this lead to a raid and 11-day standoff resulting in multiple deaths? Well, it turns out that they were afraid to arrest Weaver and afraid to enter his property, so they surveilled him by helicopter. And in April of 1992, they alleged that Randy Weaver had shot at their surveillance helicopter. And this led to 6 overeager U.S. Marshals, heavily armed and camouflaged, being sent to the Weaver property without a warrant to gather information on the Weaver compound. These marshals entered the property illegally and threw rocks at the cabin to test the dogs' reaction. Once they had alarmed the dogs, 14-year-old Samuel Weaver and family friend Kevin Harris came out of the cabin to see what the dog was barking at, and thinking that it was an animal, they headed out to hunt because the cabin was low on meat. When the two emerged from the cabin, the marshals attempted to hide, but the dog found them, and in the ruckus, the agents killed the boy's animal. When this happened, young Samuel fired back, and a firefight began between Kevin, Samuel, and the marshals. Samuel was killed in the exchange, and Kevin was also shot and injured, but not fatally, and he got away after killing a U.S. Marshal. Through this exchange, the standoff had begun, and all the alphabet agencies rolled into place surrounding the Weaver property and flooding the area. FBI snipers were brought in and deployed in the woods, and one happened upon a clean shot at an unarmed Vicki Weaver in the doorway of her cabin holding her infant child in her arms. This sniper, who was 100 feet away and had a clear view that Vicki was unarmed, pulled the trigger anyway and blew Vicki's head clean off as she stood in the doorway to her own home holding her baby. Vicki Weaver had committed no crime and was no danger to these men, and an innocent bystander to the entire incident. When she was killed, neither Randy or Kevin were even in the cabin, and both were taking positions hiding from the agents out in the woods. Vicki Weaver was murdered in cold blood, holding not a gun, but an infant to her breast. Days later, Kevin surrendered, and soon after that, Randy was finally apprehended. But both men were acquitted of all charges, including Kevin, who had killed a U.S. Marshal. The government was found to be at fault, and civil suits were even filed by both Kevin and Randy Weaver, with Kevin finally getting $380,000 in damages and Randy $3.8 million in damages. Since then, this story has been buried and forgotten about, but this is a cautionary tale that cannot be ignored and forgotten. The government is very capable and has committed horrific violations of our rights with the use of their various alphabet agencies. This threat remains, and freedom as we know it is an illusion. The militarization of our police has gotten to extremes, and one day this can and will all be used against us. Ruby Ridge is a warning to us all that those that are supposedly protecting us can and will be used to persecute us. It's happened before. It will happen again. Spread this hidden truth and help to inform people of what is really happening behind the curtain and what our government is really capable of. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you right here next time on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. That's our old channel, me and things and stuff. The Facebook feed, which I launched primarily to see if we even had Facebook. We got kicked tonight on Facebook. So I launched it just to see if it would work. But it's going to end at midnight in the Eastern time zone. 7 minutes. The Facebook feed is going to end in 7 minutes. So if you're here on Facebook, all you got to do is come over to YouTube and you can continue on. And Paul's coming. Paul will be here. We got other things to watch, though. That was the Ruby Ridge video, but that's the kind of things you can expect from this channel. Conspiracy theories. That's not a conspiracy theory, though. That really happened. It's a true story. And it's something that radicalized a lot of people, and, you know, understandably so. It's a horrific event in our country's history, and it happened right around the same time as Waco. It got overshadowed by Waco. But it's just one of the first of many things that we'll get into on this channel. This is a stream to show you what to expect from this YouTube channel. But come over to YouTube if you're here on Facebook. And if you want to search it on YouTube, it is Conspiracy Theories and Chill, at Conspiracy Theories and Chill. That's what you put in the search bar over on YouTube, and you'll find it right away. But yeah, Joan, old style marathon. But the next thing I want to watch with you guys, I'm trying to save one for Paul, is the Bob Marley video. So we're going to watch the original Bob Marley video, Who Killed Bob Marley, from Conspiracy Theories and Chill. And this is one that you'll find on our YouTube channel too. So this channel is going to be a hub for all things conspiracy theory. Well, not all things. Some topics are off limits. If it's not allowed on YouTube, I won't be able to do it. You know, and hopefully I didn't get us in trouble on this feed. Yeah, you have to. Are you on your mobile phone, Kaylin? You have to click on live chat. And on the desktop, I think it's the same thing. Just go into the live chat. iPad? Yeah, just click on live chat. It's right under the video. Look on the things. One of them should say live chat, and then you just go in there. But in just a minute, we're going to start that video, the Bob Marley video. But at midnight, like I said, in 5 minutes, Facebook's going to end. It's going to be all of a sudden. I'm just going to cut Facebook off at midnight. Come over to the YouTube channel. You can continue hanging out with us. Joan's over there. She's all by herself. Fraser's over there. Kaylin. But Paul's coming over. He'll be here in just a little bit. Until then, let's get started with this. I'm going to bring this up and show you guys this video. But this will be uploaded in the future to the YouTube channel. And it now lives on Rumble. But we're going to hub all of our videos on YouTube in this new channel. So let's check this out. This is the Bob Marley video. Who Killed Bob Marley? February 6, 1945, Robert Nesta Marley was born in Kingston, Jamaica. Known later worldwide as Bob Marley, he grew up to become one of the most influential human beings that has ever lived. His ability to speak to people's souls through his music, and his willingness to speak out and stand up against injustices in the world, while at the same time informing and teaching people about the oppressions and true evils of this world, showing them the truth that love and unity has the power to save us all. Had Bob Marley lived long enough and continued on his trajectory, he could have influenced and changed people's perceptions towards racism, love, unity, and the governance of society itself. But Bob Marley was taken early, at just 36 years old, by aggressive cancer that spread rapidly throughout his body. But many people do not believe that this cancer that began in his toe originated organically, and instead deeply believe that Bob Marley was assassinated to stop him from further spreading his message and to keep him and his music from awakening any more people to reality. They believe that he was killed to put an end to his influence on society. So tonight, on Conspiracy Theories and Chill, we are going to explore the theory that Bob Marley was actually murdered in order to silence him and stop his message. Now, musically, everyone's well aware that Bob Marley was a phenomenon. He had a very large following and his music was extremely popular. During Bob Marley's musical rise and the peak of his popularity in Jamaica in the late 70s, things were very politically volatile. In fact, Bob Marley did not speak out on politics at all, making no official political statements one way or the other. Not that he wasn't political, he just avoided politics and instead focused on issues that he felt were truly important, such as unity and human rights. And it was also very dangerous in the climate of Jamaica for a popular figure to even have an official political stance. So as far as actual politics went, Bob was very quiet even about his own opinions on it. And despite that, both major political parties in Jamaica aggressively sought Bob Marley's endorsement in order to win over the people of Jamaica in the upcoming election. Two wildly different political views were clashing. On one side, Michael Manley was the current Prime Minister of Jamaica and a democratic socialist. He was being opposed by the Jamaican Labour Party led by Edward Seaga. Now, Seaga was known by the locals in Jamaica as Eddie Seaga and was US and CIA backed to take over the Jamaican government's leadership. The US was opposed to Manley. They did not like it that he was looking to model Jamaica's government after Fidel Castro's, who Manley had recently visited and observed and also was known to admire. And with both candidates seeking Bob Marley's endorsement and Bob wanting no part of taking a political stance, which it needs to be pointed out again that he knew doing so would literally be risking his own life, he instead offered to hold a concert and have both political opponents come on stage and shake hands as a public gesture that the election was in the end for the people of Jamaica. But Prime Minister Manley takes this inch and runs a mile with it, proclaiming everywhere and advertising it even that Bob Marley was going to be putting on a concert on the Prime Minister's front lawn for the people of Jamaica, effectively making it seem to everyone that Bob Marley had endorsed Manley for re-election. And this action led to many death threats that were aimed at Bob Marley, causing Marley to hire his own personal security detail, which guarded him 24/7. And as far as the concert went, both parties agreed to a neutral location just 2 weeks prior to the event itself, but under-promoted that fact. So as far as the public perceives, this event is still taking place on the Prime Minister's front lawn and leaves everyone thinking that Bob Marley still supports Manley for re-election. 2 days before the event, on December 3rd, Bob Marley's home is raided by 2 carloads of gunmen. Now, curiously, his personal security detail is absent at the time. The gunmen ran through the Marley compound, shooting everyone that they saw. They hit Bob's wife Rita in the head. Bob himself was shot, and others in the home were hit as well by the gunfire. All survived the attack, but at this point, everyone around Bob Marley was telling him to call off the concert. His publicist, Jeff Walker, is credited with convincing Marley to go on with the event, convincing a frightened Bob Marley that said he wouldn't do the show without a machine gun, that his guitar was his machine gun. And 80,000 people are said to have attended the concert. 10 days later, Prime Minister Manley was re-elected. And fearing for his life, Bob Marley fled to England, and no one has ever been found responsible for the December 3rd attack on Bob Marley's compound, despite many believing that the assassination attempt was called for by the Jamaican Labour Party, which was again backed by the United States and the CIA. But despite the clear motives and connections, the CIA nor anyone else has been officially implicated in the assassination attempt. Now, it is well known that the CIA had a great interest in Bob Marley, and a large file on Marley exists at the CIA for a reason, and I doubt it's to study his music. I tell you this story to demonstrate that even trying his best to stay out of politics in his own country, Bob Marley was heavily influential and dangerous to the power structure itself, not just in Jamaica, but worldwide. And that is why the CIA holds large files on Bob Marley. And it is also why many people believe that he was killed to keep him from using that influence to change the world. So, who killed Bob Marley? Was it the CIA? Now, there exists a story of a poisoned shoe, a gift from the CIA. In fact, there is also a deathbed confession by a 29-year CIA veteran backing it up, and a tale I found of the man who in the end ended up with that pair of Converse All-Star shoes, and when he went to wear them, they hurt his feet, so he took them apart, finding a small piece of copper wire right under the toe of the sole of the shoe. So did the CIA poison Bob Marley? 79-year-old ex-agent for the CIA, Bill Oxley, says he worked as a hitman on targets deemed to represent a threat to the interest of the United States. And he said in an interview before his death that he killed Bob Marley and had no problem in doing so because he was a patriot that believed in the CIA and never questioned the motivations of the agency, adding that he looked at it as a sacrifice being made for the greater good. Oxley used faked press credentials to gain access to Bob Marley at his Blue Mountain retreat. He claimed to be a famous photographer working for the New York Times and gave Bob Marley a gift, a pair of Converse All-Star shoes. And he said that when Bob put on the shoes, he screamed out in pain. Oxley said that was it. His life was over right there and then. The nail in the shoe was tainted with cancer viruses and bacteria. If it pierced his skin, which it did, it was good night, nurse. In the interview, Oxley adds that there have been many high-profile assassinations of counterculture figures in the United States and abroad in the late 60s and early 70s. And Oxley in fact claimed to have himself been involved in at least 16 other high-profile assassinations done by the CIA. He said that over time, the CIA realized that subtlety was the better approach. No more bullets and splattered brains, but more subversive and hidden methods were decided to be the best way to kill not just the person, but the idea itself. It was not only much neater, but eliminates the unwanted result of martyrdom for the victim. Oxley claims to have kept close contact with Marley up until his death to influence him away from any treatments that might cure him and to hasten his demise. He said that the last time he saw Bob Marley, he had removed his dreadlocks and his weight was dropping like a stone. He said that on this last visit, Bob was very weak and withdrawn, unbelievably small, and he knew that the cancer had done its job. Bob Marley passed away May 11, 1981, at Cedars of Lebanon Hospital in Miami, Florida. Medical records from the hospital attribute his death to a cancerous brain tumor that had precipitated from his long battle with skin cancer. This cancer is said to have spread all throughout his body to his lungs, brain, and other vital organs, making it impossible for doctors to save his life. Over the span of 4 years, the cancer had spread from where it was first discovered, in his toe, throughout his whole body, and killed him from the inside out. People attribute the speed in which this cancer took him to the fact that due to his personal religious beliefs, he refused most offered treatments. For instance, he refused to have the toe amputated and believed the body to be sacred. He didn't believe in altering or interfering with the body, and people say that is the reason the cancer spread so rapidly. Mainstream science also claims that it's because they didn't have the proper treatments for the type of cancer that Bob Marley had at the time of his death, and that is the reason it spread so rapidly, killing him in the way that it did. But many still do not buy this story, and instead believe that it was a weaponized form of cancer that was used on Bob Marley and that it was done by the CIA. There certainly is motive for this theory, and many interesting bits of information as well. And when you add in the corroborating evidence, it starts to be a little overwhelming, in fact, that the CIA most likely did assassinate Bob Marley, just like Bill Oxley claims to have done. But the CIA isn't the only force that wanted Bob Marley dead. And Bob Marley isn't the only influential Jamaican singer killed from his original group, the Wailers. Peter Tosh, who like Marley was a widely influential civil rights agitator, was also gunned down suspiciously in 1987 at the age of 43. Surviving member of the Wailers, Bunny Wailer, tells a very different story of who is responsible for Bob Marley's death. And while he had never made a secret of his hatred for Bob's wife Rita, in a letter that Bunny published, he went a step further and outright accused Rita and Bob Marley's manager Christopher Blackwell of the murder of Bob Marley. According to Bunny Wailer, Rita Marley was feeding Bob radioactive ash and poisoned him slowly to death, and that is what actually killed him. Tragically, we will never know the truth, and all that we do know is that Bob Marley died a horrible death at a young age. There is no real way to know what the world would be like if his light wasn't put out before its time. But did the CIA kill Bob Marley? In the end, we may never know for sure. But what I do know is that is what they do. The CIA assassination program is very real, and people like a Bob Marley is their exact target. It is the CIA's entire purpose, in fact, to eliminate opposing views and destroy movements before they gain enough power to be effective. And I also know that they were following Bob Marley closely as a person of interest, which isn't a good list of theirs to be on. And they definitely had the motive and opportunity to kill him. The deathbed confession of the agent and corroborating story of the person who came into possession of the shoes and took them apart is very convincing. Listen for yourself.
So Jalide gave us the story of how Bob Marley died because he and Bob Marley was close. So Jalide went to Bob Marley's house one morning to go look for Bob Marley. So when Bob Marley saw Jalide came into the house, came inside in his water boots and shit like that, Bob Marley was like, Jalide, every time you come and look for me, you always come in water boots and shit. Take down any shoes that you like inside of my closet. Anyway, Jalide went inside the closet and take down Bob Marley's superstar shoes that America gave Bob Marley for a superstar. Anyway, Bob Marley said to Jalide, say, I want you to put on the shoes, man. You ain't gonna come out of here in the water boats this morning. You're gonna wear my shoes through that gate. Anyway, Jalide take the shoes and Jalide put on the shoes. And when Jalide put on the shoes, Jalide said that he fell on the floor. He get back up, he fell back on the floor. He get back up, he fell back on the floor. So he take the shoe off. So when he take the shoe off, it was like, Bob, okay, man, this shoes is not for me, man. And Bob said, take the shoes, man. So Jalide said, anyway, I'm going to take the shoes, Bob, but I ain't going to wear it over here, man, because I can't wear it right now. Anyway, Bob said, okay, all right, go ahead. Catch you later, Jalide. Anyway, Jalide leave and went to his house, and he was looking at the shoes, talking to God, talking to the Almighty and stuff like that, and said, what the problem with these shoes that I can't wear them? The Almighty said to him, take out the sole of the shoes. when he take out the sole of the shoes, into the shoe where Bob Marley big toe rests inside the shoes, underneath the sole. You know what Babylon did? They put a piece of copper wire underneath the sole of his shoes. So when Bob Marley wear the shoes, the copper keep on sticking Bob Marley into his toe. And what that copper wire does, it poisons his body and killed him. So when you hear people talking about Bob Marley have cancer, that's a lie. Bob Marley didn't have no cancer. Babylon killed Bob Marley. The CIA's killed Bob Marley's. Okay?
So, who killed Bob Marley? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Conspiracy Theories and Chill from the Sean Yankee Show. Alright, so that was the Bob Marley video, and I'll be uploading that to the channel here pretty soon. None of these that we're going to watch tonight have been up there yet on the channel. But I've gotten 11 videos up now, and this is a launch party for the channel. So I thought we'd watch some of this stuff that you'll be seeing coming up on the channel in a shareable format. We're going to put it all over here, try again. But this time it's only Conspiracy Theories and Chill. That's the only thing that will be over on this channel is Conspiracy Theories and Chill videos. It will be all conspiracy theory videos, and that's it. Nothing else. Clips of the show, just Conspiracy Theories and Chill though. Everything over here will be conspiracy theory related. We're just going to have to watch our mouth. We have to learn how to watch our mouths. And when we've really gotten good at that, we'll start streaming live the Wednesday show to this YouTube channel. But subscribe. I'm trying to go until we get to 23 subscribers. We're at 21 right now, so I need 2 more before I can go to bed. And I got lots more videos, lots more stuff we can do. And then if we're lucky, Paul will stop by and visit with us. But I don't know. We'll see. All depends. Just kind of depends on Paul, you know. But this is the first ever live stream on the YouTube channel, Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Joan wants to know if the guy that got the shoes got poked and got cancer too. I don't know. I'll have to find out. That's a good question. Fraser's in the UK, and this is a morning show for Fraser. He's having a morning show. So he's got Conspiracy Theories and Chill in the morning going on. I don't know. Where is Paul? He must have got caught in traffic on the way home at midnight. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he got lost. Maybe he tripped and fell, or I don't know. He's so fragile, Paul. He's having trouble. Kaylin's having trouble commenting. Can anybody help Kaylin with how to comment on YouTube? She's having trouble taking part in the show. But this is just a stream to build subscribers for the YouTube channel. We are at 21 subscribers, and I want to go until we get 23. I think we can get 3 subscribers out of our first live stream. What do you think? I think so. Why not? Why can't we get 3 subscribers? You know what I mean? I think we can at least get 3 subscribers. Oh, but we're going to watch some videos. We're going to hang out. We're going to chat. And I'm trying to stall to give Paul time to come. But if he doesn't make it, he doesn't make it. You know what I mean? We'll be just fine. We've got plenty of stuff to do. Plenty of stuff to watch. All kinds of things that we can do. In fact, I want to watch a video that is... pull this down, that is on the channel. This is a video you can already go over and watch on our channel, and it's doing pretty well. It's getting a lot of views for a brand new channel. It's already up to 150 views, but this is a Mandela video. That'll be fun, right? We'll look at that real quick while we wait for Paul. Hopefully Paul will join us. But this is the Mandela video that is lighting YouTube up right now. If you like this, it's up on the YouTube channel. You can go over there and share it and get that exposure for the YouTube channel. I would appreciate that. But check this out. Let me know if you experience any of these Mandelas. I experienced every one of them in this video. Welcome back to Conspiracy Theories and Chill. On this episode, I'm going to go into 25 of my favorite Mandela effects. The Mandela effects are a phenomenon where many people remember things a way that they never actually were. There are many theories on the causes of this phenomenon. One theory is that glitches in spacetime are being caused by experiments done at CERN. Another is that the Mayans were correct and the world did end in 2012, and since then we've been traveling realities. Some even think the world as we know it is a computer-simulated matrix, and what we're experiencing are bugs in the system. Others just believe it's bad memory causing Mandela effects. But whatever it may be, I find the Mandela effects fascinating. And if you do too, stick around because you will love this video, because I'm going to go into 25 of my personal favorite Mandela effects. Now, as you know, there are hundreds of Mandela effects out there, so you can understand how hard it would be to narrow down a list of 25. But to rank them was just too much because I experienced every Mandela I'm going to talk about on this list, and many of them just blow my mind too much. So in no particular order, here are my top 25 Mandela effects. Let's start with changes in famous logos. Like Febreze. Everyone knows the fabric freshener spray Febreze, but how is it spelled? I and many others remember it like this, with double E's. But it's always been like this, no matter how much myself and others would absolutely swear it at least used to be like this. It even makes more grammatical sense for it to be this way, but no, it's always been like this. The same is true for all the logos on this list, by the way. It's not that the logo or name has changed, like people always like to say. I looked into these, and in these examples, it's never been the way people remember it being. It's not a logo change, it's a Mandela effect. For instance, many people remember Jiffy Peanut Butter, but there never was a Jiffy Peanut Butter. It's always just been JIF Jif that choosy moms chose because they couldn't choose Jiffy because it didn't ever exist. Another good one is Kit Kat. It has always been spelled just like that, Kit Kat smushed together. Not like this with a dash in the middle, you know, the way that looks right? No, it's always been this, no dash. I remember Kit Kat having a dash between Kit and Kat. And what do you remember? Tell me in the comments. For this next one, picture the Monopoly Man. Does he have a monocle? The correct answer is no. He's never had a monocle. Many people, myself included, remember vividly him having one, but no, he never did. Now what about Curious George? When you think of him, does he have a tail? I thought he did, but I'm wrong again because he never did have a tail. Then there's the Publishers Clearinghouse. When you think of the Publishers Clearinghouse, who do you picture as their spokesman? If you're like me and many others, you remember it being Ed McMahon. But Ed was never the spokesman for Publishers Clearinghouse. In fact, they never had a spokesman at all. By now you may be feeling dizzy and wondering if we do live in a matrix. Well, here's one from that movie. What if I told you that this famous scene where Morpheus says to Neo, "What if I told you that everything you believe is a lie," is actually not in the movie at all? That blew me away, and what's causing it is probably the famous meme series that was made out of that picture. But I remember it being in the movie, and many people do. Another good one is from Silence of the Lambs, where Hannibal says, "Hello, Clarice." Good scene, right? I agree, but we're wrong because he never says that. He says good morning. He doesn't even say good morning, Clarice, just good morning. The movie's name is also a Mandela because it's not Silence of the Lambs at all. It's The Silence of the Lambs. Even though most people don't remember the, it's always been there. Now this next one's from the Wayans brothers comedy parody film Scary Movie. Marlon Wayans' character is parodying a line from the hit film Sixth Sense, in which the main character reveals that they see dead people. And many people remember Marlon saying, "I see white people," which is funny, and it was a comedy after all, but no. He says, I see dead people, just like the kid from Sixth Sense, which isn't a joke and makes no sense. There are a lot of Mandelas in the movies. This next one has to do with the intro to Disney films. Do you remember Tinkerbell swooping in and sprinkling fairy dust before each Disney film? I do, but we shouldn't, because it's always just been the castle. Tinkerbell did fly in the television show intro, which is where people are probably getting it from, but I remember in the films too. The classic Disney film Snow White has a big Mandela effect in it as well. Many people remember the evil witch saying, Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? But it's not mirror, mirror, it's magic mirror. That sounds so wrong, but check it out. She says magic mirror on the wall. And The Wizard of Oz has got 2 Mandelas in it, so it has to be on this list. The first one we gotta address is again with something an evil witch says. The Wicked Witch, when she's sicking her flying monkeys on Dorothy's caravan, yells out, Fly, my pretties, in my memory. But I'm wrong again, because she only says fly, fly, fly. For this next one from Wizard of Oz, think about the Scarecrow. Now, in your memory of him, does he have a gun? He does now, or rather he always did, but I don't remember him ever having a gun. It just looks wrong. Or how about this iconic scene from Star Wars where Darth Vader says, Luke, I'm your father. Except he doesn't ever say that. What he actually says is, no, I'm your father. Even now, as I'm reading that, my brain is fighting with itself. Luke, I'm your father looks right to me and many others, but it's wrong nonetheless. Now, the biggest movie one has got to be from the James Bond film Moonraker. And it has to do with the character Jaws' love interest and how she used to have braces, which makes the whole connection between the two of them make sense, but now her braces are gone. See, Jaws never thought he'd find love because of his metal teeth, but then she smiled at him and he saw she also had metal teeth, but now she just has a regular smile and it's just all wrong. This next one on my list also reflects a big change in reality for me. Do you remember Bruce Springsteen's iconic album Born in the USA? Think about the album cover where Bruce is standing with his back turned and he's wearing blue jeans and a white t-shirt and has what in his back pocket? If you remember a red bandana, I'm right there with you. But it's not a red bandana now, it's a red hat. Or how about the classic Queen song, We Are the Champions? In the climax of the song, I remember him singing, We are the champions of the world. But he does not. In the studio recording, he does not sing of the world. Where this Mandela comes from is he did sing it that way in the live versions, but I and many other people remember the radio version having him singing that way, but it doesn't and it never did. Historical events changed as well, like the Lindbergh baby. Many people remember the Lindbergh baby never being found, but the Lindbergh baby was found and his kidnappers were captured. Or what about the 1997 Tyson Holyfield fight? I watched this fight on pay-per-view when it first happened. I remember it vividly, and in my memory of the fight, Tyson bit a big chunk out of Evander's ear. But if you look back on it now, he still bites him, and he even breaks the skin, but he doesn't bite out a chunk and spit it out the way I remember. Now this next one's a little embarrassing, but for a while, I've since corrected myself, but for a long time, I thought there were 52 states. I since found out I'm not alone, and this is also a Mandela effect. Many people remember there being 52 states, and remember being taught that in school. However, there are only 50 states, not 52. Speaking of getting numbers wrong, how many times did we land on the moon? I thought it was 6, but Neil deGrasse Tyson and many others think we only landed on the moon 1 time.
And had I known that our first steps on the moon would essentially be our last steps on the moon, I would have done somersaults. I would have said, oh my gosh, this is a unique moment in the history of our species. Never to happen again. Let me revel and celebrate and pop champagne corks.
Now, many people remember there being only 1 moon landing, but Neil deGrasse Tyson is an astrophysicist. He studies space for a living and doesn't know how many moon missions there were. Meanwhile, I learned of 6 with a basic high school education. Famous art has changed as well, like the Thinker statue. Think about the famous Thinker statue. Is he leaning on his fist? I and many people remember it like that, but no, his hand is open now, not a closed fist, and he's just lazily leaning on it. The Mona Lisa has changed too. The Mona Lisa used to have no expression. You couldn't tell if she was happy, sad, or indifferent. But now she's clearly smiling. That's a smirk, even. This Mandela is way up there for me because I clearly remember the Mona Lisa being expressionless and that being a big talking point to the piece. But there's no mistaking now that she's clearly smiling. Now for the top 3 on my list. I know I said I couldn't rank these, and that's true, but I do have a top 3. The first one is the Statue of Liberty, and it's in my top 3 because it has 3 Mandelas attached to it. To start, did you know that the Statue of Liberty was attacked, causing permanent damage to the torch section? I didn't, but you can look it up. It's known as the Black Tom Explosion. German spies blew up an ammunition barge, causing a huge explosion measuring a 5.5 on the Richter scale. It was the first terrorist attack on American soil, and ever since that attack, the torch has been closed to the public. But many people have memories of visiting the torch section, even though they could. That's been closed off since 1916. Another thing that has changed with the statue is its location. Many people, including myself, remember the Statue of Liberty being located on Ellis Island, but it's not. It's located on Liberty Island. Number 2 on my list has to do with a historical figure. Eli Whitney, the inventor of the cotton gin. Now, when you think of Eli Whitney, in your memory, is he a white man or a black man? Now, I remember him as a black man and have vivid memories of learning about him in school during Black History Month, but no. Eli Whitney is and always has been a white man. That blows my mind so much it had to be number 2 on my list. Beaten out only by the Mandela that, in my opinion, is the godfather of them all, the Berenstain Bears, or rather the Berenstain Bears as they're known in this reality. I say that way because I was a big reader as a child, and I loved the Berenstain Bears books, and they were called the Berenstain Bears, because I always used to wonder if it was pronounced Steen or Stein. I remember struggling with this. I knew how to say stain. It wasn't Berenstain, it was Berenstein, and I'd bet my life on it. So thanks for stopping by and checking out my favorite Mandela effects. Let me know in the comments below if you share any of these with me, or you think there are some better ones that I left off my list. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time right here. From Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I gotta re-edit those so that they plug the right channel, because our channel name is Conspiracy Theories and Chill. That's what channel you're watching. And you should subscribe. This is a subscriber party. We're trying to get to 23 subscribers. We're a baby channel, just trying to blow up, just doing our best. You know, whatever you can do to help us, I'd really appreciate it. Share this out, like and share some videos, comment on a few videos, whatever you got to do. I'd really appreciate your help. But I'm starting to wonder if Paul's coming. I don't think he's gonna. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That'd be just fine. We're going to hang out a little while longer, though. I got some stuff I want to show you. In fact, I want to show you a clip of the show. Well, I want to show you this. It's on the YouTube channel. I got show clips. So over here on the channel, you go into playlists. These you won't be able to see because that's mine. Those are private. This one you'll be able to see. Conspiracy Theories and Chill live clips. And let's just watch them. These are all updated today. Powers of the mind. They use powers of the mind. They use powers of the earth. They use the true workings of our creation. We are in a creation and we are lords of it. We can manipulate it. They understood that.
They use the earth today. They just act like they don't. Like they have the super trains in Japan that they are reverse magnetic to the earth. They literally, when they flip the switch on these things, Sean, they float.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of we have the most antiquated rail system on the planet.
Ours are
Some
fucking
are very
chugga,
neat.
fucking coal miner motherfuckers.
These are cool, right?
And use magnetism.
Little
and
clips. This is a
are
3-minute clip
pretty
of
impressive.
Wednesday. That's great. Not like ours.
No. And
Much
ley
less.
lines, yeah, I believe that's part of the grid too, Lisa.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's a big part of it. It's all built on ley lines too. They played into the frequency of the earth. Like you were talking about, the pyramids resonate at 440 degrees hertz.
Yep.
These are clips from the show. This is from Wednesday night. But you can watch the rest of that clip over on the YouTube channel. Well, if you're on YouTube, which you are, because that's the only place we're at right now, on the YouTube channel. After this, you can go watch these clips. Look at this one. This one I like a lot. Paul's
I love
all
this so much.
excited.
You know what this? You do realize what Göbekli Tepe is, right? It is the landing
excited.
place for Noah's Ark. Each one of these little circled areas have descriptions of, man, I'm getting goosebumps. Have descriptions of different animals, and each one is able to house, feed, and all that, and hold up to 7 of each animal. And each one says that to hold 7 of each one of that is on this description.
So that's the clip that Paul's all excited in, but that's a 3-minute clip. And then there's another one over there too, but that's all on the YouTube channel. That's pretty neat. They use powers of the mind. They use powers of the, sorry. But this is it. This is the YouTube channel, and we're trying to get that number to 23. And it is still at 21. It needs to be at 23. So we need to get this up too. There's only 4 people here. Come on, we need to share this out. I know it's late, but we can get some more in here. Yeah, where's Paul? I don't think he's going to make it. You know what I mean? I think something happened. I think he got distracted. Maybe he made a stop at Taco Bell and things went sideways, and you know how that can go. But the next video I wanted to watch with you, I was hoping Paul would be here for it, but this is the Tesla and the New Yorker video. This is a 4-part series that we did on Tesla and the New Yorker, and whether or not the New Yorker hotel was actually built for Tesla. You know, and well, let's check it out. Nikola Tesla, most likely the most brilliant and prolific inventor to have ever lived. A man a century ahead of his time. Over 700 patents to his name. Nikola Tesla is personally responsible for the majority of mankind's greatest technological advances. Despite all of his life's many achievements, this great man is said to have died poor and alone, living out his final years in 2 small rooms at the New Yorker Hotel. But what if there is much more to Nikola Tesla's story? Was his nearly 9 years spent living at the New Yorker something else entirely? What if there is a hidden secret behind the New Yorker Hotel itself that explains why Tesla decided to choose it as his final home? Maybe instead of Nikola Tesla just renting out these 2 rooms in the New Yorker Hotel, the truth is that the New Yorker Hotel was in fact built specifically for Tesla, to be his home and personal laboratory, and maybe Tesla's life and true works haven't exactly been presented to us honestly. Is it possible that Nikola Tesla was working secretly for our government, and that this hotel that still stands today hides many secrets that are related to Tesla's missing work, as well as reveals some secret work behind the scenes done in the shadows? While hiding in plain sight behind manufactured obscurity, Tesla could have actually been much more successful than we've been led to believe he was. And this hotel just may have been his ultimate personal scientific laboratory. So, on this episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill, we're going to begin a series looking into what we know of Tesla and his final years living at the New Yorker Hotel, as well as looking into the hotel itself to see if this particular theory that we have put forth has any merit to it. So let's begin our journey through this rabbit hole with what we already know so far. In this theory, we're just going to be focusing on Tesla's time spent living at the New Yorker. In 1934, Nikola Tesla moved into the New Yorker Hotel, and it's said that the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company began paying him $125 a month, as well as paying his rent in the hotel, expenses that the company would pay for the rest of Tesla's life. Now, accounts of how this came about vary. Several sources say Westinghouse was worried, or maybe warned, that potential bad publicity surrounding the impoverished conditions under which their former star inventor was living could get out and be bad for them. So the payment has been described as being couched as a consulting fee because Tesla had an aversion to accepting charity. And on January 7th of 1943, at the age of 86, Tesla died alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. His body was later found by maid Alice Monaghan after she entered Tesla's room, ignoring the Do Not Disturb sign that Tesla had placed on his door 2 days earlier. The medical examiner examined the body and ruled the cause of death to be coronary thrombosis. 2 days later, the FBI ordered the alien property custodian to seize Tesla's belongings. Even though Tesla was an American citizen, John G. Trump, a professor at MIT and a well-known electrical engineer serving as a technical aide to the National Defense Research Committee, was called in to analyze the Tesla items, which were being held in custody. And after a 3-day investigation, John Trump's report concluded that there was nothing which would constitute a hazard in unfriendly hands, stating that Tesla's thoughts and efforts during the last 15 years were primarily of a speculative, philosophical, and somewhat promotional character, often concerned with the production and wireless transmission of power, but did not include new, sound, workable principles or methods for realizing such results. The FBI was very worried about what Tesla may have been working on, specifically a death ray he had claimed to have invented, and they were watching him very closely throughout the last years of his life. And we will return to this aspect of the story as well later on in this series. The New Yorker Hotel itself was built in 1930, and the 43-story hotel was considered to be prestigious and luxurious for that time, so this could be the reason Tesla chose to live in the hotel. Or it could be because the New Yorker Hotel had its own private power plant. Now, we will get into even more oddities later on in this series, but yes, the New Yorker Hotel has a rather large DC power plant, deemed a scientific milestone by the Institute of Electrical and Electrical Engineers for having the largest DC generating plant in the United States, capable of powering a city of up to 35,000 people. It kept the hotel fully operational and off the power grid for the first 30 years that it was open. Now that is interesting and noteworthy for sure, and while the knowledge that the hotel having its own powerful power plant definitely explains why Tesla may have chosen to live in the hotel, does it explain why the hotel would have had it? This power plant could have ran downtown New York in its time, providing much more power than the hotel would ever need for itself, and by a lot. Plus, it was enormous, taking up a great deal of valuable space in the hotel, nearly 3 floors. So why would they expend so much of their $22.5 million budget installing an enormous power plant that they'd never need and couldn't use? It's extremely odd for sure, and we will definitely be coming back to that point when we get to exploring all of the other oddities and connections between this hotel and Nikola Tesla, and even the New Yorker Hotel itself. So the New Yorker was a very high-end hotel. You always hear that Tesla died poor, and while for the most part that's true, especially when compared to how much of humanity's advancement that he is personally responsible for, but he wasn't exactly living in poverty. He had money somehow, obviously, but didn't live in extravagance. In my opinion, adding to the mystery here. But these were just rooms in the hotel, not suites, just basic, and actually very small rooms. A lot of the accounts will sell it to you as suites to make it sound fancier than it was, but as you can see in these images of the actual rooms that Tesla lived in, there is hardly any living space at all, and really only room for the bed and a little bit of furniture, but not room for much else. Now, of course, he would have had access to all the amenities of the hotel as well, but this is where Tesla lived out his final years, in 2 modest-sized rooms of a brand new luxury hotel. Now, all things considered, choosing to live in the hotel makes sense to me, but it seems very expensive, doesn't it, for someone who has limited resources? Impractical, really, for such an intelligent man, but again, he wasn't as poor as we are led to believe, and we've already shown that the hotel had many benefits for Tesla. And with Westinghouse Electric supposedly picking up the tab, it all kind of makes sense. Because he had access to the hotel's vaults, and I'm sure the enormous power supply of the hotel was a huge draw for him, even if only because it was there. Then there's the underground. Underground, he had access to a tunnel system that ran beneath the New Yorker Hotel, connecting it to the subway line, as well as giving underground access to 4 other nearby hotels, where Tesla is said to have stored some of his 80 trunks worth of research. At least that's what was gathered up. 80 trunks of Tesla's research were collected after his death. But after they were gathered up and shipped off to Belgrade, 20 of the trunks came up missing in the trip and have never been recovered. So, just to recap so far what we've learned, there are many reasons why the hotel would have been an attractive home for Tesla, and with Westinghouse Electric paying for his stay and expenses, that explains how he afforded to live in a brand new luxury hotel. We also learned that the New Yorker had a huge DC power plant, and that Tesla would have had access to New York's underground tunnel system, as well as connecting him to other places of interest underground. And in the next part of this series, we will be exploring Tesla's life living at the New Yorker and seeing what clues to this theory lie in what we know of how he lived out his final years, as well as looking at what took place right after Tesla's death with his research and what involvement the FBI may have had in all of this. So thanks for watching. All right, so that was part 1 of Tesla and the New Yorker. And this has been a live stream, the first live stream on this YouTube channel to boost subscribers. And I wanted to go till we got 3. I was hoping we would get 3 subscribers. We only got 1, but my eyes are getting heavy and it's time to wrap up. We almost went a full 2 hours on our very first live stream, but I'm sure there'll be many more of these. And I hope you had a good time. I hope we didn't get in trouble. Hope everything went good. And I hope we get those other 2 subscribers by morning. I'm sure we will. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for hanging out with us at the first live stream on the new YouTube channel. Look around the YouTube channel while you're here. Like a few videos before you leave. And I'll see you on the next show. Have a good night. God bless.